Hello everyone. Morning. I just arrived here at Far Eastern University. So today is April 16, 2018. So I'm here for my 7:30 class. I arrived quite early. Uh, I arrived at around 6:45. So I'm quite early for my 7:30 class. So I changed location because it's quite noisy at the Freedom Park. They're still cleaning, and there are students playing, so not quite conducive for vlogging. So this is my alternative location whenever the Freedom Park is really not conducive for vlogging. So now this is Nicanor Reyes Hall. So this is like the garden. This is the garden within the Nicanor Reyes Hall. Um, so so I'm actually vlogging. I thought of a storyline on my way here. I've been just reflecting of whether I'm doing the right thing parenting my daughter. So the title of the vlog is the difference the difference of parenting my daughter when she was a child and when she was a child and now that she's a teenager. So my daughter is already 13 years old. So I've been making a lot of reflections, no, about whether I'm doing the right thing parenting my daughter. So actually, there's really not much to say because parenting is basically for others. It's just like breathing, just like exercising. It's part of you. Now, for others, it may seem very natural because they experience it. They experience parenting with their own parents. Now, on my part, if you'd ask me, how did I come to know about parenting? Well, of course, we can say that I have learned that the concept parenting is basically I read about it, I watch about it, I watch films about parenting. But if I will trace my own experience about parenting, at a very early age, I was 9 years old. My parents got separated, so I have a notion about parenting. For example, my mother, when I was a child, my memory can only tell me that my mother was kind of disciplinarian. Once I got a blow, on my mouth because I was reasoning out. My father was the one who is, more of a friend, my father was the one who pampers. When my mother say you cannot do this, my father would sometimes allow me to do things that my mother wouldn't allow me to do. When it's time for siesta, meaning sleeping in the afternoon, then it's time for siesta. That's my mother's way of disciplining me. And of course, my mother taught me how to pray the rosary. My father used to mentor me in lessons, no? School lessons, for example, news reporting. These are some of the things that he taught me. Now, after after the separation, it wasn't anymore consistent. So I don't really see anymore the consistency of parenting. I only came to when I was a teenager. That is where I was a bit, struggling on my own. So basically, the experience of family, of parenting, especially when I was a teenager, was I survived that stage on my own. But I'm thankful that I met my aunt. My auntie Meding, was the one who really showed me compassion, showed me love and care, even showed me the value for reading novels. It's my auntie Meding. She showed me how a mother of 9 children would be showing her love consistently. That no matter happens, she would always be there for her 9 children. In fact, she was already recuperating. No? She got sick in Manila and then she went home. She's a nurse. And then she already passed away. On her remaining years, I was the one who was always with her. I attend mass. She invites me to attend mass with her. And then she narrates stories about her children, all this love, parenting, compassion and care in the family, even relationship, no? The dynamics of husband and wife. I learned this from my aunt, from my auntie Meding. But okay, even then, from a secondary perspective, I'm listening. I think there's still a difference compared to really if you experience it firsthand. It's like secondhand. It's like secondhand experience, someone just telling you about this. But it's different when you are growing up, seeing the love, compassion, care, the true parenting. That I think it wasn't really consistent on my part when I was growing to be a teenager. Now, here's the question. The challenge for me is how do I parent, how do I rear my teenager child now who is 13 years old? Or in fact, I haven't experienced this. I think you already get the point here. I have not really experienced how it is to be with parents on my teenage years. So that's the question. Would there be really a difference if I felt it rather than just hearing about it, watching about it, reading about it? So I think there is. It's a different scenario when you read about care, compassion, and you experience compassion and care from your parents. So, am I an effective father now? Now that I am, experiencing my daughter to be growing up that fast. So, and sometimes I'm an absentee father because I'm working in Manila, and sometimes, I get to spend time with my daughter. For example, now that they are here for 2 weeks, I am seeing her grow to be a different person compared to when she was as a child. If you'd ask me, the best time with my daughter was when she was, I think, around 5, 6, 7 years old. The best time with my daughter when she was just, learning how to talk, learning how to crawl, learning how to climb. I mean, not crawl, learning how to climb the window panes, learning how to reason out. So sometimes I ask, am I doing the right procedure, if there's such a term for parenting? So, now, if you'd ask me, how do I maintain the balance in my relationship with my daughter? Sometimes, I'm trying to be a cool father. Cool. That's why I blog. I am trying to do what she's doing. But eventually, as she's growing, she's becoming. It's like she's becoming a better person when it comes to skills. For example, she's better in. She's growing. She's having this knowledge of her own. Like for example, she has this knowledge of photography. She has knowledge about video editing, and sometimes simple instance like you cannot enter a certain door. We were at the mall. I was telling her, no, we will enter this because I used to enter this before, and she said, no, you cannot, because from afar rather, she already